Hi guys, welcome back. So Wales do it, 12-13. It goes into the final test as the decider, as does the New Zealand-Ireland series, as does the Australia-England series. So it really went perfectly as far as tension goes going into next week. But let's be honest, this game against the South African largely B side was pretty much like hearing someone scrape their nails down a chalkboard for 75 minutes. And if you managed to get through that, you got 5 minutes of excitement right at the end. So let's go through this game, see my thoughts, because like I said, most of this game was pretty painful watching, and pain for South Africa from the off. Peter Steph-Toy, who actually had a decent run out, gets pinged straight away at the ruck. So it goes 0-3 to Wales straight away from kickoff. And the ref was very hot on the whistle, maybe a bit too whistle happy. Maybe the two sides, all their errors certainly didn't help. Now, at the beginning of the game, I was hopeful we were going to get an open and exciting game because South Africa showed some running ambition, getting an easy 3 points, 3-all. And I thought, okay, this could be good. If Wales come to play and South Africa come to play, we could have a fun game. That wasn't to be. Some very aggressive tackles from South Africa, and to be fair, Wales's defence was pretty manful as well, although not quite the power of the South Africans. One bright light, I suppose, for South Africa is, on the whole, Hendricks' kicking was pretty decent. His passing looked good as well. So he looked okay as a third choice 9, or if they want a kicking 9, maybe he can go in, but certainly better than South African kicking last week from 9, so maybe a tick for him there. Wales get in trouble on about 10 minutes, but it's their man of the match, I would say, Tommy Reffell, making the tackle on Esterhuizen, then up for the jackal. Brilliant stuff from Reffell. He did that a number of times in that game. Dwayber then is over-eager a couple of minutes later, a tackle off the ball. Bigger misses the long-range penalty, and Dwayber will not have a day to remember. Pretty wayward at the line-out as well, so not a huge amount of these B players pushing their way forward into the A-team, I would say. I think we're going to see a very similar first-choice A-team from the previous week, but anyway, they look fired up, they're trying, but the quality definitely isn't there. Now on 20 minutes I made the note that we weren't going to get our free-flowing game. Lots of stoppages, lots of kicking, some decent kicking. Hardy putting up some good kicks, as was Bigger. Good chases from the likes of Cuthbert. The South African attack is slow, it's steady, they're making ground, nothing special, but they get a penalty and go to the corner. Good kick, 5 metres out. Surely we're getting a good catch and drive chance for a try here. But oh my God, Dwayber, a terrible throw. Nice easy throw, and it's not straight. Painful stuff to watch. And we're nearly 25 minutes in, and there hasn't really been any quality. On 27 minutes, there's some better width on the attack from South Africa, and they managed to get their width on their attack a couple of times, but Wales are just hanging tough, like they do sometimes really well. They need a spell of territory and possession, though, because they are under the pump in this first half. You know, it's almost like they're waiting for South Africa to click, which is a dangerous game, but South Africa, they just can't nail anything. Reffell again in there with a great poach, relieves that tough spell. Esterhuizen's punching it up hard, but there's not a lot of variation there, and Wales are tackling manfully. Now, even though Wales couldn't get any momentum, it did look like the outside of South Africa's defence was a bit vulnerable, but Wales could never really string enough phases together to threaten them there. Then we have an aggressive counter-ruck right at the end of the half from South Africa. That was pretty good all game, to be fair, but they need to convert something, and of course Dwayber mucks up the line out, and Esterhuizen, just a cold drop, epitomises the sloppy skills from South Africa at the moment. So it's 3-all at half-time, still waiting for a game of rugby to break out. Now into the second half, and South Africa make quite a decent call here, bringing on some new front rows, changing the momentum, and their powerful carries definitely lift South Africa at this point. They get a penalty 6-3. Straight away after that, South Africa gift a good 3-point chance to Bigger, but it's a wobbly kick, so that goes wide. And they almost get a decent attack going to Wales in 49 minutes, but Marks is on, really making an impact. Couple of good interventions. Then a nice line out as well, puts Wales straight back under the pump. He was impressive. They get a penalty 9-3. So the momentum is starting to roll for South Africa now. And Bigger's shoulders giving him issues, and he's begrudgingly hauled off. But Anscombe comes on and actually does pretty well. But then we get a nice run for South Africa. They're actually finally starting to push the ball from side to side. Hendricks does well and milks a fairly soft penalty from Wales for not rolling away. but it's Pollard's turn for an ugly miss, skewing the ball wide, not very good at all. South Africa, they're creeping away slowly, and Wales just need to open up at some point. I've written here, please do something exciting, somebody. And on request, Peter Steph-Toy does indeed gallop down the wing, feeds into Ardenza, and is a pretty good attack, to be honest. Alan Wynne-Jones seems a little unlucky to get pinged and get a yellow. That was pretty tough. They nearly cost Wales, but not quite in the end. That new South African front row strikes again with the first big destruction of the Welsh scrum. And South Africa, they're starting to chip away, starting to go clear. Rafael is on a one-man mission to try and win the game for Wales. Another breakdown penalty. Can they launch something? It's a really good kicking, long-range kick from Anscombe. 12-6, so they're within one try, and that is big. Then a clear arm hook from Etzebeth, not very good. Anscombe gets a chance to get it to 12-9. It's a bit tricky kick, and he misses it, so it's still 12-6. And both sides are tiring. Even more errors, if that's even possible, from both sides. Wales can't string anything decent together, but they're still within one score. And is this the chance on 76 minutes? Great punt from a penalty from Anscombe. He made a couple of nice punts. 5 metre line out, they go into some pick and goes, they've got a penalty advantage, but they spot the opportunity out on the left, whiz it out to Adams, who finishes fairly comfortably. Then Anscombe needs to convert from the touchline to go ahead, and he does right down the middle, 12-13, but there is one more chance for South Africa. They get a scrum in a kickable position, and they go for that scrum penalty as they should, but Wales are solid. South Africa run the ball. Vincent Koch knocks it on, and that is the game. Wales win 12-13. So my goodness me, I get the result I want, because obviously I'm supporting the Northern Hemisphere sides, and I want to see a finale. So that's great from that respect. As a game, as a spectacle, yeah, it was awful. Let's just say it how it is. It was awful, but Wales did what they need to do. Now, Wales are going to have to be a lot better than they were in this match, that is for sure. They're going to be facing the South Africa A side. This B side really didn't overly impress. I don't think there's anyone forcing their way into that side that wouldn't have been there already. Maybe Peter Steph-Toy we might see make an appearance somewhere, possibly on the bench. Apart from that, I don't think so. But anyway, if you got anything else from that match apart from the result, pop those comments below. I'd love to read them, and I'll catch you next time.